Right now on Up with KREM, the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan has been chaotic as Afghans and U.S. citizens scramble to flee the country as the Taliban takes control.
Every day the kids go out, their parents are really worrying because as soon as they go out, the parents are like, okay, I don't even know if my kid's gonna come back home or not.
This morning, Afghan refugees that now live in Spokane tell us more about their experiences.
The first day of class is right around the corner. Experts now say is the time to start preparing for kids transitioning back to the classroom.
Don't wait till day one or the day before school to start that. Do that now.
This morning, advice from state officials about getting students back to the classroom safely.
And it's going to feel a lot like the start of school with our temperatures the next few days. The even better news, rain is in the forecast.
Up with KREM begins now.
For the first time in 2021, the Department of Agriculture tracked down the first Asian giant hornet's nest.
Ooh, so this is a photo of the nest they found. We will be talking about the next steps to remove the nest in just a couple of minutes. Ooh, bless those people because I'm staying far away.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog.
Hard no.
Yeah, you see those suits that they wear?
Yes.
They look like they're on space or like going to the moon or going to be the first person to populate Mars. And I'm still like, no.
You're going to have to pay me a lot to be next to those.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, that's way far away from where we are.
Yes.
Yeah,
Here
totally.
locally, we are.
It's like a whole state away.
It is, pretty much. Washington is a big state.
That's true.
Well, we are being blessed with some really great weather, Jeremy.
I know, right?
I know I'm ready for some rain.
Absolutely.
Absolutely is right. And we've got rain in the forecast, and that rain arrives later on today. Right now, we're kind of saying goodbye to a few clouds associated with a little bit of shower activity that moved through overnight tonight. And as we kind of watch that move out, we open the door for more activity to move in. But with southerly flow, it's likely that our air quality takes a dip here throughout the morning. Right now we sit in the mid 60s. It likely trends a little toward unhealthy for some later on today. But for now, it's decent. You can get outside and enjoy it. But hey, grab a light coat on your way out the door. Temperatures are in the 50s. But there we go. They are going to rise. And as we head through the day, we did mention it rain, and rain is going to arrive with enough fashion that we have some flash flood concerns. Really, the flash flooding comes from burn scar flooding. And that would be areas that were burned by wildfires this summer. Basically, the fire heats up the ground and seals it so water doesn't go into it. So we're not talking about flooding that would hit towns or cities or places like that. It's areas that have had those wildfires. If you live around one of those or in the middle of one of those, that's where we're concerned about that flooding. Right now, not much on the radar. A couple of those showers in North Idaho kind of moving their way out. But what we are watching out for is what happens later today. Clouds build in this afternoon. We might see a couple of isolated showers. Tonight is when we get a bulk of that moisture. I think like the 10, 11 o'clock hour is going to be when this thing really kicks off. Continues overnight and eventually starts tapering off early Saturday. By Saturday afternoon, we should be dry. By Sunday, it might feel a little bit like fall. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm even not complaining about this. It's temps in the mid 70s later on this afternoon under mostly cloudy skies.
A chaotic and dangerous situation continues to unfold in Afghanistan.
Now today, President Biden will address the situation in Afghanistan in a speech from the White House. Nearly a week after the Taliban seized control of Kabul, the airport outside the city remains packed with people still trying to get out.
Yeah, tough images to watch for sure. The one you're seeing here, this video has been all over social media, hard to watch. It underscored the desperation felt by many Afghans. It shows a baby being passed over a wall to an American soldier guarding the airport. The Pentagon says it's evacuating fewer than 2,000 people a day despite round-the-clock flights out of Kabul. The overall number is somewhere around 12,000.
Now, it insists the military has aircraft available to evacuate 5,000 to 9,000 people a day, but not nearly that many people are reaching the airport. The Pentagon says efforts are now underway to speed up the process. With the U.S. military due to withdraw by August 31st, time is running short.
There has been no decision to change the deadline, and we are focused on doing everything we can inside that deadline to move as many people out as possible.
So there are no reports of the Taliban harassing Americans trying to get to the airport, but CBS News learned they have blocked some Afghans from traveling.
Now, yesterday, the Taliban dispersed protests in several cities, in some instances using force. Witnesses tell Reuters that several people were killed.
Well, here in Spokane, Afghanistan refugees fled many years ago. They're telling us people of the country should have been celebrating Afghanistan's Independence Day.
And we spoke to a man who fled the country as a child. Now, this is Muhammad Ali. His family knew they had to flee after Ali's father was murdered by the Taliban. Now in Spokane, he says he watches helplessly as the same terror group takes control of his homeland.
Every day the kids go out, their parents are really worrying because as soon as they go out, the parents are like, okay, I don't even know if my kid's going to come back home or not. I'm really worrying about women's and children's because they will be the first target.
Well, Refugee Connection Spokane estimates that we could see 200 more individuals arriving in Washington over the next few weeks.
It is time now for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Up first, the timeline for the J&J booster shot is still up in the air, but here's what we know. The vaccine wasn't administered in the U.S. until March of this year. Experts saying they're still collecting data. If we look at the timeline for Moderna and Pfizer, their first doses were given in December, and now 8 to 9 months later, we are gearing up for the booster. If the J&J shot follows that timeline, a booster shot may not be available until October. But we don't know if the Johnson & Johnson vaccine's protection will fade at the same rate as the other two.
Well, as the new school year quickly approaches, health leaders are warning parents to be prepared for potential COVID outbreaks, despite the governor's new mandate for school workers.
That's really tough, and we don't want to overstate that, but people are going to get sick, and there's going to be times we're going to quarantine. Maybe it's a whole classroom, maybe it's a whole building that needs to close down. Obviously, we're trying to avoid that with all of these mitigation strategies.
Educators suggest visiting your child's school before the first day of class just to kind of walk around and get a better sense of the layout, as well as any COVID precautions.
Researchers found the first Asian giant hornet nest of the year. The State Department of Agriculture says it was located east of Blaine, Washington, about a quarter of a mile from where the first live hornet was found. After that sighting, researchers were able to capture 3 other hornets and place trackers on them. You may be able to see a teeny tiny wire there. Scientists then hoped that would lead them back to a nest. Right now, researchers are developing a plan to eradicate the nest, and we are told they'll most likely share that information next week. That's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
So Jeremy already said it's going to be feeling a little like fall this weekend. So what a better way to spend the day or spend just the whole weekend than being outside and maybe at Manitou Park, because the fall plant sale is back for this weekend.
Channing's going to bring a pumpkin spice latte.
I am.
Yeah, she's already saying
so
it's
excited.
cold. Not cold yet, Channing.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, this event is happening tomorrow, and great news, it's back to normal pre-pandemic one-day sales. So Nicole Hernandez joining us from Manitou, where she spoke to friends of Manitou about the plant sale making a comeback. Nicole, you're very excited for this too.
I'm so excited, especially if Channing is bringing pumpkin spice lattes. I'm in. Okay, but this is really exciting. We decided to show you just how many plants there are here today. Look at this, it's incredible. And not only are all these amazing flowering, beautiful plants here, there's also food. Look at this, there's blackberries and raspberries and fancy raspberries, currants, grapes, so many different things here. It's absolutely incredible. You can really find anything you want at this point. So they're open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. starting tomorrow, of course, and they are doing this completely normal. So like you guys mentioned, they had been doing time slots back during the pandemic just because of COVID restrictions, but now they are completely back to open, and they're going to have activities, and it's going to be super fun. So if you're interested in coming down here, you can actually park. You can park west of the office, or you can park along the road by Ferris Perennial Garden on 21st Avenue. When you get here, they accept cash, cards, and checks to pay for your plants. Every plant is anywhere between $4 and $40, I think is what she said. And they'll have house plants, sun plants, grasses, shrubs, vines, edible plants, and shade plants. And there'll also be a section of home and garden decor.
We will have it wide open. All the plants will be in the yard. It'll be from 8 to 3. We have master gardeners. We have Susan Mulvihill come with her book for signing and purchasing. We will have a kids activity. We'll have a band. So it's full on, back to the way it used to be, plant sale.
Yeah, so of course it's going to be back to normal, which means a lot of people might be here looking for their plants. And one thing that will be a little bit different this year is Friends of Manitou says they actually don't have quite as many plants as they normally do, just because they weren't sure how big this sale was going to be with COVID restrictions and such. And this right here is actually a great example. So these guys, these clematis violet stardust flowers, they only have 2 of these. There's only 2 of the ones in front of me here, only 3 of these next to me, these hydrangea Let's Dance canoes. So definitely, if you're interested in getting plants, specific ones, if you want a good pick of all these plants, get here early. They open at 8 a.m. tomorrow, but they will be open to 3 p.m. if you don't want to be super picky. Live in Manitou Park, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Now, if you don't have restaurant reservations for tonight, you better start making some calls because it's restaurant week. After the break, we're talking to the owner of some of the newest additions to Spokane's poppin' food scene. Now, this summer, we have been tracking several wildfires all over the inland Northwest, and we have heard from you through ZipWhip as well as social media about what fires you want updates on. We have all of those updates coming up on the CW22.